It's been pretty much 8 years since Clairo released the music video for Pretty Girl on YouTube, which skyrocketed her into becoming one of the biggest indie pop artists in the world. Since then, she's released 3 albums, garnered billions of streams, toured the world, basically every musician's dream. But why Clairo? Why has she captured the hearts of the world rather than all of the millions of musicians making music on their laptops in their bedrooms? And no, this isn't going to be another video exposing the fact that she has supportive parents. Spoiler alert, the answer is her music. The kind of authentic connection that Clairo has with her fans isn't something that can be bought or manufactured. So in this video, we're going to break down what makes her music so impactful so that we can learn from it and apply those lessons to our own music. And we'll do that by writing and producing a short song in the style of Clairo, which you'll hear at the end of the video so you can judge whether I pulled it off or not.
We'll work it out, but it's your move first.
Let's get into it. Now, we should probably acknowledge there's a lot of range in Clairo's discography, from her first bedroom pop singles to the kind of soft rock, funk, and jazz leanings of Charm. Despite that though, there's actually a lot of musical characteristics that remain the same in all of her music from 2017 to today. So we're going to focus on those in this video. And this isn't an accident. Clairo herself has said that the only reason those first few songs were bedroom pop songs is because those were the only resources she had available. So it makes a lot of sense that once she had access to the best studios and the best producers in the world, her sound would evolve but also retain the essence of what made it so magical in the first place.
So to get started making our song, we need to lay down the main instrumental. Clairo's early stuff has a lot of electric piano. Immunity and Sling are a mix of acoustic guitar and acoustic piano, and Charm is mainly acoustic piano. The approach to chords and song structure though don't really change that much. A lot of Clairo's songs have 3 or 4 chord progressions that don't even change during the chorus. Personally, I'm very partial to Immunity, so the song I'm going to make in this video is going to be most similar to that style. So here we're going to double track some electric guitars as the foundation.
Okay, I got a DAW session set up. I have a pretty good idea of the instruments I'm going to want, so I've just set it all up that way.
I'm going to record the first layer on my new Telecaster. I have the pickup blend right in the middle, and I'll probably turn the tone knob towards the brighter side, but we'll see. Amp-wise, I'm going to use Vintage Vibe by Fine Classics plugins. This is definitely one of the best amp sims on the market, especially for more indie stuff. So here's the progression. It's just 6-5-4 in E major.
Simple as that. That's going to go throughout the whole song. I like that. There's a bit of drive in this one. You know, a lot of amp sims have a pedal board function like this, but often it's quite limited. Fine Classics, though, have a whole separate dedicated pedal board plugin, which I'm also going to use. It's a little silly. I like that. I like that tone quite a bit.
Fine Classics hooked me up with a discount for you guys, so if you hit the top link in the description, you can get 20% off to any of their plugins. It's a great way to support my channel, as well as a fantastic indie plugin developer, so if you're looking for some vibey indie guitar tones, then go check it out.
Cool, I basically just done down strums for the part that's going to be the verse, and then for the chorus I just did a bit more of a quick strumming pattern. Not sure if I love what I did there though, so I'm just going to do another take of the chorus bit. Cool, I'm happy with that left part. Now I'm gonna switch over to my Les Paul for the right side. We're not gonna have that many layers in this song, and so we need to use every opportunity to just get a little bit of sonic intrigue out of each layer. And a great way to do that is when you're double tracking something to add little variations, whether that's in tone or in the part you play. It just brings the arrangement to life so much. Pull up Vintage Vibe on this side too. In theory, I like that. I'm not playing it right, but I like that idea. Alright, I'll just tidy up these guitars a little bit now.
Next, we're going to track some drums and bass. The percussion in Clairo's music is really important to get right because even though the drums tend not to be super punchy, they still hit hard and groove. It's a huge part of what makes Clairo's music so vibey and easy to listen to. Typically what that looks like is a soft bassy kick, a warm snare, maybe muted with towels, and partially open hi-hats that are actually really fuzzy and prominent in the mix. And you can achieve this with real drums, but I'm just going to use a VST. Unfortunately, I'm deeply unintelligent, and I forgot to turn my microphone on in this next clip, so I'm going to do a voiceover instead. So I pulled up Easy Drummer 3, which we're going to use for the drums in this song. I'm just showing the sounds that we're starting with, definitely subject to change. This is the singer-songwriter expansion kit. Then suddenly I had this epiphany about how we could achieve world peace, but I guess we'll never know what I said. Oh well, here's me recording the drums one part at a time, starting with the kick and the snare. Next, a bit of editing. I don't want it perfectly on the grid, but just a bit closer than I played it. And here I'm about to unveil my master plan to do a slight variation on the snare in the chorus. Then next, the hi-hats. Then like 10 minutes of this until we wound up with this. I was feeling solid, so I moved on to recording the simplest bass line ever, just eighth notes playing the root of the 3 chords, and then switching to a pick during the chorus to add a bit more drive. Then I started yapping again. I was probably saying something about this feeling solid enough to try out some melody ideas. When I get to this stage, I just turn on the mic and press record and see what nonsense comes out of my mouth as a starting point. So let's do it. Okay, the voiceover is done. Sorry about that. Now the next stage is to just take some time and mull over these melody ideas, refine them, and write some actual lyrics. So how does Clairo write lyrics that capture the attention of an entire generation? There's 3 keys to it: simplicity, specificity, and honesty. Let's unpack each of those. Simplicity refers to the register of the lyrics. They're direct and conversational, and often there's very little metaphor. If she wants to say something, she'll say it. Instead of using veiled, flowery language, Clairo would much rather immerse the listener in a specific moment. And that's not to say that there isn't symbolism or deeper meaning behind the descriptions, but they're always very grounded and never vague. Let's look at the first 4 lines of Alewife. In Massachusetts, only 30 minutes from Alewife, I lay in my room, wondering why I've got this life. We have a location, an action, and an internal dialogue, and it's laid bare for us. Number 2, specificity. A lot of songwriters fall into the relatability trap. They're afraid to say anything too specific or personal because they worry that the listener might not understand fully or might not relate to it. Clairo does not give a damn about this. Alewife is a perfect example. The name of the song is literally a train station that Clairo lived close to growing up. Now, I had no idea what an alewife was until I looked the lyrics up on Genius, but when I first heard the song, I still, I think almost cried because I was just instantly gut punched with how raw and honest the lyrics were. And I guarantee I wouldn't have felt this way if Clairo was trying to be relatable rather than actually just being honest and writing what she felt and what she experienced. Speaking of, number 3, honesty. I think this kind of goes without saying, but honesty is the core of Clairo's entire brand. It underpins everything she writes, from Pretty Girl all the way up until Charm. She's not afraid to write about losing herself in a relationship, her illicit crush on a friend, or a night in 8th grade where a friend saved her life. And she doesn't make anything larger than life. She's truly just being herself.
I find my most favorite songs are just honest. Doesn't necessarily feel like everything has to rhyme or everything has to sound like a groundbreaking lyric. You can just talk directly to the person listening and they can understand.
So I used all these principles when I was writing the lyrics for my song. That being said, it takes a lot of courage to do what Clairo does and just write such raw lyrics. I'm kind of a pussy, so I chose to make a fictional scenario, but use that to write about real feelings that I'm struggling with, but just in a less direct way. My lyrics are about struggling with mental health and having a bit of guilt surrounding it, and then worrying about losing friends because of it. I'll put them on the screen now for a second if you want to see them, but you'll also see them at the end of the video when I play the final song. Now this might come as a bit of a shock to you, but I don't sound very much like Clairo. I know. That being said, even though there's nothing short of AI that would make my vocals sound like Clairo, there's still things we can do in the vocal performance as well as the vocal production to make my vocals feel like Clairo. Performance-wise, it's kind of simple. I'm going to sing in a really soft and breathy voice with very little dynamic variation. In terms of vocal layering and production, thanks to a Mix with the Masters episode with Clairo and her producer for Immunity, Rostam Batmanglij, I can actually just steal exactly what they did on Bags. It stays the same for the whole song. There's a lead vocal down the center, there's 2 doubles panned 50% left and right, and then there's a harmony layer which is also down the center. Let's do it.
2 in the morning, you called me. I was already going insane. 2 in the morning, you called me. A weighted blanket on me. You were probably feeling the same.
So because I'm recording triples, I'm just gonna go like 2 lines at a time and really sure I lock in the timing so I have to do less annoying editing later. Okay, now I'm going to edit these a little bit and then we'll record some harmonies.
In that same Mix with the Masters clip, they mentioned a few times that the harmonies that Clairo does on Bags are just a little bit odd and don't like necessarily work.
I guess this could be worse, walking out the door with your bags.
That's so interesting. Because some of those still don't work.
The harmonies?
Some of them just bang into each other.
But I think it kind of sounds like medieval music.
What I'm hearing there is actually a lot of harmonizing in fifths and fourths instead of in like the typical thirds. And funnily enough, that was very common in medieval music. So there you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna record harmonies now, and yeah, there's really no rhyme or reason to it. I'm gonna try to not do the most obvious harmony, so like classic thirds. I wish I could be more helpful, but this is really just kind of the culmination of 22 years of being that guy that harmonizes every time people sing happy birthday. So yeah, this process is basically sing shit and see what works, and if you're not comfortable doing that yet, become a more annoying person, and then you will be.
2 in the morning, you called me. I was already going insane. A weighted blanket on me. You were probably feeling the same. A weighted blanket on me. You were probably You said you missed me, but I didn't want to lie to your face.
Okay, so the harmonies are in. I've also just done this little volume automation ride. This is just the volume of the bus to just make sure that the volume stays consistent of all the vocals. I'm not gonna go too much into mixing in this video, but one thing I will say is that I was having a lot of trouble with sibilances, and when I put my de-esser before my compressors, and I'm using an LA2A into an 1176, that made a really big difference in just making the vocals just sit a lot more nicely in the mix. But yeah, check out what a huge difference the harmony makes. Here is without the harmony.
2 in the morning, you called me. I was already going insane.
And here's with the harmony.
2 in the morning, you called me. I was already going insane.
Just brings this song to life so much. So now we have a song, but I just want to do a few more things to bring it to life as much as possible. Just gonna get some held piano chords in here.
2 in the morning, you called me. I was already going insane. 2 in the morning, you called me. I was already a weighted blanket on me. You were probably feeling the same.
When we get to this kind of like, I don't know if it's a pre-chorus or if it's just, you know, melody changes in the verse, but I'll change the top melody in the piano as well.
You said you missed me, but I didn't want to lie to you.
Yeah. And we'll switch up in the chorus. Still really simple, but just a bit different.
Anymore, so I shut you down. Say I've got it worse. Maybe it's my fault, it wouldn't be the first.
One of the challenges in this style of production is keeping the song interesting without actually changing all that much. Like there are little subtle variations in the guitar and drums and stuff when we hit the chorus, but overall it's not like there's a huge change in dynamics, a fat stack of vocals, or even really any new instruments coming in. There's a bunch of really subtle things we can do though just to create movement between sections.
I think it's pretty difficult to make a song lift when the chords never change.
I'm gonna steal even more than I already have from Bags here, but I am just gonna add a couple layers, a choir pad and a synth pad to just provide a bit of that lift into the chorus. Yeah. Just make that synth a bit wider, more interesting. Now you might notice that there's been this suspiciously empty guitar center track, and that is not an accident. I want to try something.
When I say this little mix with the Masters trailer is a total gem, I mean it. Rostam shows the plug-in chain that he put on that iconic lead sound, so I tried to replicate it. I have a different guitar and different plugins though, so we couldn't get it that close, but I definitely think I got it in like the ballpark. Tons of the effect comes from using Little Alter Boy to raise the pitch up an octave and the formant down an octave, and then distorting it and adding a fat chorus effect.
Just for fun, I want to use that lead sound on our song. The plan was always in this little gap here to have an instrumental lead. That's pretty dope. I mean, obviously I'm just copying Bags, but that's because Bags is a great song. There is just a lot of glitchiness in that sound, which I like, but I just want to reinforce it a little bit. There's one thing that's still bugging me, which is the drum mix. I just know I haven't nailed it. I'm gonna use the multi-output mode on Easy Drummer for this. I want the drums to be a little bit fuzzier. Get a little slap back delay on the drums there. A little extra reverb on the snare there. I want a little drum fill into the chorus. Sweet, I'm gonna call it there.
So to answer the question that I asked at the beginning of the video, what is it about Clairo's music that just connects with people so much? Well, after making that song, I think I can just boil it down to an unwavering authenticity and also effortlessness. We all know Clairo made Pretty Girl on her laptop in like 2 hours, but even for her more intricate songs like Juno, nope, that's the Sabrina Carpenter song. Even for her more intricate songs like Juna, which I'm sure took a lot more than 2 hours, there's still just this really effortless, smooth feeling to it. Honestly, the song that I made in this video was one of the easiest and most fun things I've worked on recently, so thanks, Clairo. I'll play the final song in a second, but really quick, first, if you are an artist and you want to make music together like this, then hit the second link in the description where that'll take you to my website. You can go listen to some of my work and fill out a form to see if we're a good fit to work together. I'll catch you next time. Here's the final song.
2 in the morning, you called me. I was already